Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and I'm looking this morning at a book from Law Society Publishing. It's this book here. It's called Liquidation. It's written by Vernon Dennis, and it's in the Insolvency Law Series from the Law Society. There's some blurb on the back. Now, Vernon Dennis is well known to many people for his excellent publications, and this is one of a series that he's written. It follows the normal run-of-the-mill stuff for the Law Society. It's a very useful index at the back. You've got some very useful paragraph numbering at the sides, which makes it much easier to find things. And there are some very useful appendices, at-a-glance guidance and that sort of thing. And of course, at the front, got a lot of case law, and it's basically just over 200 pages long. It's a useful book. It's very good for a wide range of people. Now, Elizabeth and I have written a review of this, and we've given it the title, For Insolvency Practitioners, a Step-by-Step Guide to Liquidation Processes and Procedures. And what we say is this is the second title in the series of insolvency law publications by the Law Society, and it sets out a clear step-by-step, start-to-finish guide to the most common corporate insolvency procedures, liquidation itself. Having arisen and evolved from the historic need to protect investors from the consequences of business failure, the concept of liquidation, as the author points out, is absolutely central to the UK insolvency regime and an essential branch of company and commercial law. The book, of course, is directly relevant to all people as lawyers involved in these matters, and also to people running companies. Now, Vernon Dennis is an acknowledged expert, of course, in this field, and it's often a very difficult and emotionally charged area, and he obviously acts regularly for creditors, debtors and insolvency practitioners. His prose is clear, his approach practical, and in 9 chapters with their at-a-glance guidance checklists in the appendices, we think this is extremely helpful, because I did like these at-a-glance guidance notes for the various appendices, and it's something I haven't seen before with the Law Society publications. With the reasoning behind the legislative framework highlighted throughout, the book's 200-odd pages provide invaluable practical advice for everybody and anyone who advises companies, directors, creditors, customers and suppliers to business who may be either undertaking or considering liquidation as a preferred insolvency procedure. The book covers the 3 forms of liquidation: compulsory, creditors voluntary and members voluntary liquidation. Although these processes are similar, of course, the book specifically highlights and explains the differences, which are quite important, of course, for practitioners and company people. Logically structured, the book explains first the main characteristics and purpose of liquidation and offers advice on how to start the process. The actual processes and procedures of liquidation are then examined in detail, and analysis is provided on the implications of liquidation for the directors of insolvent companies and its creditors. The final chapter deals with the various steps to be taken in ending the liquidation process. I think what makes the book impressively easy to use are the 9 appendices, as I say, with each having a guide which summarises by means of checklists and flowcharts what the author's succinct at-a-glance advice really is. And I think that's good for people who are very busy and need some help, although they've got a general picture of what liquidation is about. No doubt the trends, of course, in the increases in the number of corporate insolvencies will rise. For instance, in 1987 we had 12,856, and that has risen in 2009 to 25,432. Obviously there are economic implications as well. To aid further research, there are lengthy tables of cases and statutes which I've indicated, and I should mention, plus the useful glossary which you have, which does help, because one of the problems with this type of work is that you do have words that people will find quite difficult. There's the glossary there, which gives you some idea of some of the terminology we actually use in this area. Publication date is 2011, and this short book in our view is a little gem for the busy practitioner dealing with this vexed issue. So thank you to Law Society Publishing and to Vernon Dennis for the splendid work in this area. Thank you very much. Bye bye.